Welcome back, denizens of the night, to V Rising. It's time to fight the king of vampires, Dracula himself. Like with Adam, this can be a very difficult fight. If it's your first time, you should go into this fight with everything you can. I'm using the Grim Knight set, which gives extra hit points, and have upgraded the legs, boots, and gloves to the Dracula Grim set. For the accessory, I'm using the Amulet of the Blade Master for the extra attack speed, and all my weapons have been upgraded to level 30, though I lucked out and found some legendary quality pistols after my fight with Adam, which gives an extra bonus to its explosive bullet ability. For potions, I'm using all of them, including the new Vampiric Brew that came with this release. As for blood, I have two options at 100%. I have Rogue, but I also have Draculan, which is a new blood found from the creatures in the Ruins of Mortium. Both are pretty good. With this setup, I should have everything I need to take him on. To enter Dracula's castle, you have to craft the blood key that you get from Lord Styx the Night Champion. Without it, you can't get in. You don't have to equip it, just having the blood key in your inventory will be enough. Once inside, it's a pretty eerie and quiet place. At the end of this hall is a portal that leads to the Shadow Realm. This is where Dracula resides.
Footsteps. An uncommon sound in my timeless domain.
Once inside, simply walk up to him to start the fight.
My first challenger in eons, bearing just a hint of my power. Let us see how you wield it.
Dracula has some pretty devastating moves. When he attacks you with his sword, he will either use Veil or teleport before attacking, but he almost always tries to attack you from behind.
Kneel to my dominion.
When at a distance, he'll either shoot twin blades at you that boomerang, or transform into a wolf and charge. When he slams his sword to the ground, 7 shockwaves shoot out. You can counter these, or you can hide behind him where there won't be a shockwave. When he channels a large circle, you have 2 things to avoid. Small blood bolts will shoot out of him in a circle, but what you really have to avoid is the red circle that's closing in. If it touches you, you'll be stunned and he'll hit you for a lot of damage.
No mercy.
Despite the wolf ability looking dangerous, it's actually very simple. He will always try to jump over you, then attack from behind. As long as you're expecting that, it's pretty easy to avoid. He can also shoot 2 shockwaves at you with his blade. If you get hit, you'll receive a huge knockback. Occasionally, he'll disappear and summon several bats. The red lines let you know where they'll charge. You can dodge, or you can kill them if you're quick enough. What you have to avoid in this attack is when he reappears. If you're caught, he'll hit you for a lot of damage and drain some of your blood. When you see that ability, always prioritize dodging the last attack.
Run, little youngling.
For his red ring ability, you can easily dodge through the ring. Using the pistol's E ability to jump through it also works. Also, if you're worried about blood loss, killing any of his bats will drop small blood orbs that will refill your blood for you.
There is no escape from your fate. Kneel.
I'm going to share something useful for you first-timers. Unlike any other fight in the game, restarting the fight with Dracula is really easy after you die. When you choose to respawn, you will appear right outside the gate that leads to the Shadow Realm. Not only that, you'll have full health, and your blood will be restored to 100% as well. This allows you to quickly restart the fight with him. This isn't always consistent though. You might want to bring a few extra blood potions just in case. Since you can respawn this quickly, you can fight Dracula multiple times in a row until you get the hang of his abilities.
A rare treat in a challenger. My blood pulses within you. No matter. It will only serve my victorious return.
Speaking of abilities, someone suggested the Death Knight in a different video, and I thought I'd give him a shot. They're pretty useful in this fight, since Dracula moves around so much, so you don't have to worry about spells like Corrupted Skull missing its target.
On your knees.
One useful strategy you see often in my videos is that I like to heal often with Veil of Blood. Every time I dodge, I try to make sure that the first attack hits in order to keep my health high. Ideally, you want a pretty full health bar before he enters his second phase. Another useful piece of advice is that you should try to save your counterattacks for his slash waves or his slam attack. Both of these abilities get huge upgrades in the second phase, and countering them will nullify them pretty well.
There is no escape from fate. You will learn to obey. Kneel to my dominion.
There's also a lot of movement in this fight. It's hard to pick a good time to drink health potions. The best times are either when he does his wolf form, or when he charges that red circle, or when he's distracted by skeletal minions if you're using them. When you get Dracula down to 50%, he'll enter his second phase with several new abilities.
You are a shadow, an imitation. This is what it means to be king.
One ability he'll use often is he now summons large blood crystals. Their only purpose is those damaging red rings that circle around them. By themselves, they're not that dangerous, but if you let him create 3 or 4 of them, it's going to be very hard to navigate the arena with so many of those rings. They have a lot of hit points, and you'll need to keep watching his attacks while you clear them out.
Feel the bloodstorm's tide.
His new ultimate ability you have to watch out for is when he shoots 4 beams in all directions. While these beams are firing, multiple blood bolts will shoot out from him. They follow you for a second before traveling in a straight line, so the safest place is at the edge of the arena. He also uses this ability twice, so once the beams stop, another round of it will begin right after. A new move he gets is he will summon a long line of small blood bolts to fire at you. You might be able to squeeze through them, otherwise you'll have to dodge or counter to avoid them. One move that gets an upgrade is his slam attack. Those 7 waves that fire out now have a follow-up explosion, so watch out. Again, if you counter them, the explosions won't happen. Another strong ability he has is to summon swords to follow you around and fall on you from the sky. You can avoid them if you keep moving, but his attacks are going to keep coming. You may also notice that sometimes he leaves behind a shade. As long as you keep your distance, you can ignore it.
Your end is in the shadows. Feel the bloodstorm's tide. I am the darkness that devours all.
Also, his stabbing attack with that long-distance telegraph is weaker than it looks. It's only a single attack, and it's pretty easy to dodge or counter it if you see it coming.
This is the end! supreme.
This moment illustrates a good time to use an ultimate. 2 blood crystals, and he's about to use his ultimate as well. Having so many skeletons provides the distractions I need to take the crystals out.
Run, Whelpling. Feel the bloodstorm's tide! I am the ghost of your fears.
Since his health was getting low, I was getting a little sloppy at this point, but as long as you don't panic and keep focusing on dodging and healing at the right times, you should be able to outlast him. Even when there's this much going on, if you practice fighting him enough times, you'll make this look easy too.
The ground weeps sanguine tears. Behold the might of a king. No! Impossible! Defeated by my own power. There could be no other way. I feel stronger.
Upon defeat, you get the recipe for Dracula's chest guard and the soul shard of Dracula. The ultimate ability that the soul shard grants you is called Bloodstorm. You become invincible and shoot blood bolts in all directions. Then it ends with a powerful nova for even more damage. This is pretty good in a crowd of enemies. Killing him also completes the final quest and rewards you with the Throne of Darkness, a very large decoration for your castle. That about wraps up all the V-Bloods from V-Rising. All that's left to do is to do it all over again with brutal difficulty. I hope you look forward to it. Until then, Bloodsuckers, good night.